Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is where we talk about all things family and how to support each other with compassion and confidence. Today we're diving into a big one, sleep, or the lack of it. If you've got a child on the spectrum who struggles with bedtime, falling asleep or staying asleep, I see you. And I promise you're not alone. Let's talk about why this happens and also what can we do about it. Alright, let's get into this. Why is sleep such a massive challenge for so many autistic and neurodivergent children? If you've ever spent your evening trying to convince a wide-eyed child that it really is bedtime, only to hear, but my socks feel too spicy, the shadows are being weird again, then I'd like to officially welcome you to the club. We've all got the hoodies, the matching eye bags, and a group chat full of people who've tried lavender oil, blackout blinds, and the old bribe with biscuits method. But there are real reasons why these children struggle to go to bed. Sensory sensitivities. Some sensory processing is just so different for neurodivergent people. Some children experience the world as though the volume is turned up to 11. Everything is a constant sensory assault. What feels normal to us might be completely overwhelming to them. That tiny tag in the pyjamas that suddenly feels like sandpaper. Bed sheets that are too loud. Yes, I've actually had someone, a young lad, use that I supported. The hum of the fridge or the central heating being the equivalent to a jackhammer in their brain. Or a pillow that smells different to yesterday. So therefore it must be evil. I once supported a little boy who couldn't sleep unless his left foot was uncovered. It had to be pointing towards the door. His mum had it down to an art, with a little bit of blanket origami every night. It was bizarre, it was beautiful, but it worked. Then we've got melatonin and other biological rhythms. Research shows that many autistic individuals have irregular melatonin production. That's the hormone that tells you it's night time. It's time to go to sleep. So while you're feeling shattered, their brains are, oh, excellent, time to do algebra. Or remember all the Pokemon names in alphabetical order. And I must tell Dad. So it's not that they don't want to sleep, it's their bodies literally aren't getting the signal to shut down. Then we've got anxiety and overthinking. Imagine your brain constantly going at you all day, all night, it never stops. Did I brush my teeth yesterday? If I didn't brush my teeth, does that mean the dog will die? What if tomorrow's cereal isn't the right cereal? What if it's green? What does sadness taste like? Oranges? This kind of overthinking, especially when transitions or changes are happening in their lives, will keep their brains buzzing for hours or even days. We have separation fear. Some kids worry about being alone at night, and not the monsters under the bed way, although that is a classic, but more of a, what if something changes while I'm asleep? And if it changes and it's different tomorrow, how will I cope? Autistic kids often rely on consistency to feel safe, and sleep is essentially surrendering control, something that autistic children can really struggle with. And overstimulation before bed. This is a big one. And there's no judgment here, but reduction in screen time. I'm not about to tell you to ban the iPad or turn off the TV. And I've certainly used Barney the dinosaur for my son as a babysitter when I had work to do. But blue light really, really does mess with sleep signals. Sometimes I'll suggest to families to switch from Peppa Pig over to maybe a fish tank app or mellow music. Less oink oink chaos and a little bit more of Zen aquarium. It doesn't work for everybody, but it's an easy first tweak to give a try. So, the foundation. What can we do? Let's build a solid sleep setup. Think of it as prepping the stage for a play. The more prep we do, the better the prep we do, the better the performance. So, blackout curtains. I'm not neurodivergent, but I really love my blackout curtains. Otherwise, at 4 a.m. every morning in the summer, I'm wide awake. Weighted blankets, These aren't great for everybody, but for those that use them and need them, they are fantastic. Let's see if they fit in with your child's sensory profile. And if they do, give them a try. White noise and calming sounds. This can be a fan blowing in the background, or it can be a YouTube video of rainfall, ocean waves, or some gentle music. Sometimes silence can be deafening. And limit that blue light. Tablets and TVs right before bed will always mess with melatonin for anyone. And try turn them off half an hour, maybe even an hour beforehand. It's not always possible, it can be difficult, but with practice and routine, it does get easier. And ultimately, in the foundation, consistency. None of these individual changes will work on their first attempt, but with the same routine, the same order every night, this builds a predictable rhythm the brain starts to expect. It provides consistency and also enables control for the child. So let's talk about the routine. It needs to be predictable. It needs to be soothing, not a military operation. I'm sure you know that autistic children don't respond well to commands and orders, and certainly not being shouted at. So a demand to go to bed is most likely not going to work. The wind down should start 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Bring the energy down, dim the lights, soft-spoken voice, no hyperactivities, maybe turn off the TV. Have a visual schedule. Sometimes the talk is just too much for autism or for other neurodivergence, but having a routine in pictures on the wall to follow, very, very simple. Bath, which is great to help us all wind down. Brush our teeth, a story, who tells the story, and then a picture of the bed. It reduces the anxiety. They know what's coming next, and they can choose the order to suit them. Choice and control is really important. In my career, I found that most of the negative or challenging behaviours that I have come across, and certainly that my staff have come across, come from a loss of appropriate control. They may be a child, but they still need to feel in control, and autistic children even more so. Let them pick their pyjamas. Let them pick the bedtime story, as long as it's not something too scary. Let them pick the colour of the room. As many appropriate controlling choices as possible. Small choices give them a sense of calm and control. When it comes to sensory input, they may like deep pressure, so think about wrapping in a blanket and tight cuddles. Or they may be more sensitive and keep touch to a minimum and also make it soothing. Remember that a hug before bed, who is it for? Is it for the child? Is it for you? Maybe they don't like a cuddle before bed. And have a final signal, so they know that we are at a point where it's now time to lie down and go to sleep. It could be a good night song. It could be a phrase like time to dream, night night pussycat, whatever your child likes. This acts as a clear emotional cue, and it is a routine. It will take some time, but it will work. That said, when it doesn't work, even the best routines in the world aren't guaranteed to work every night. If your child still struggles, don't panic. Some options you can explore. One, I'm not a GP, and you should speak to your GP before trying any supplements, but there are melatonin supplements out there. Please always seek medical advice. Keep a sleep diary. I think keeping a diary of any sort is really healthy for all of us, but a sleep diary will help you track what they've eaten, what kind of screen time they've had, what activities took place that day, or sometimes what is going to happen tomorrow, and also sleep behaviours. It may help you identify a pattern, something that they're struggling to actually express themselves. There are occupational therapists available and also sleep specialists that can assess the hidden sensory and behavioural issues. And above all, be kind to yourself. Broken sleep is brutal. If you take anything away from this today, let it be that sleep problems are common in autism. they're not your fault. They're not your child's fault. But with a bit of structure and sensory awareness, a bit of support, a bit of compassion, progress is possible. And I hope this has helped. If it has, please hit the like button so I can make more videos like this. And subscribe if you want to join a community of families supporting each other with honesty and humour. Let me know in the comments, what's your child's bedtime kryptonite? And what's actually worked for you? Let's swap ideas and help each other out. Until next time, breathe deep, be kind to yourself, and maybe get some sleep. Thank you.